So here we go. It is a very big night for the Saints, and Hawthorn looking to keep their winning form rolling. King takes it wide and straight out to the boundary for a throw-in.
Well, Hawthorn have actually started with Hodge, Mitchell and Sewell in the middle, and St Kilda. Graham's gone straight in there this week. Del Santo and Hayes.
Good to see Graham there, Malcolm, because last week he played on Judd, and it worked pretty well for 3 quarters.
He actually took Franklin in one of the encounters last year. Here's Rioli, sharp and dangerous and delivering well, and Williams can line them up.
Well, just good that he had the composure, Rioli, not to blast away. He was inside the 50 when he gave the little chip pass. And good to get a touch of the footy. Good to set a teammate up. Even better if he's able to finish.
So Williams, close range, good kick. The Hawks have the first.
Well, how simple is that? Wow, just kick it out wide, tap down. Beautiful little pickup here, though. That was the key. Tapped it in front of him, didn't take the ball, and as Robert mentioned, nice finish.
Well, Mark Williams spent 3 or 4 seasons as the key forward for the Hawks. Now he's number 3 with Ruffhead and Franklin doing most of the duty. So a bit of pressure taken off him.
And there's Hodge and Graham. And Blake is across the half-back line on Ruffhead.
No, you grabbed onto his arm in the contest.
So free kick going against Campbell for a hold on Stephen King. And he gets things moving quickly. Gets it to Goddard. He's run up from half-back. Little chip to Montagna, who just lost his footing at the crucial moment and allowed Sewell into the picture to take the easy chest mark at half-back. Had a shoulder operation a couple of months ago and an appendix problem, but now he's back. He looks for Ruffhead, who kept his feet and gathers the football. He's got support in Hodge. Loops one over the top. Now what's he going to do with it? Kicks loose off the side of the boot. King couldn't take the mark, but Hudgson's there to mop up. Got it over to Blake. Goddard, quick hands. And the Saints out of trouble here. Hudson, oh, it's not a good handball. Put him under the pump. Here's a chance for Ladson over the top. Ruffhead got an unkind bounce. And in the end, the Saints got out of jail as Dempster concedes the point. But boy, they were lucky there.
Del Santo got injured in that contest there. He just got the cork. You can see the knee into the side of his leg. And he's struggling a bit, Nick Del Santo.
Hawks stiff not to have 2. The idea was right from Ladson. He just put the ball there and relied on the bounce being half decent. It was less than that. Fisher to Graham. Saints already down by 7 points. Ball to Graham. Now Goddard. And he probes for Revolt. Brought him beyond 50. Montagna too wide.
Revolt's opponent is Campbell Brown, who's going to be a lot shorter than him, and Crowder's picking up Kazitsky.
So he played on him last year.
Yeah, he's done it before.
Yeah. It's an interesting one, though. He's got a great delete. Needs a big tank to ring round with Revolt, though.
King got the tap, did it nicely too, into the dangerous spot. Del Santo couldn't break the tackle. Snap by King, it's across the face. Crowd against Kazitsky. Crowd's there. Is it opportunity for Eddie? Found some space, kick smothered. Gets another crack at it. Fed it out to Graham, his kick smothered.
Played.
Mitchell slapped it out, and that's a high tackle. No, it's not. Yes, the umpire's paid it in the end.
See, that was clever from Mitchell then. You don't actually have to pick up the footy to be a good player, and he just understood, under pressure, just get it rolling towards a teammate.
Jared Morton's had a haircut since we saw him last. He goes wide here to Murphy. And Hawthorn starting confidently, steadily. Good delivery to Sewell. Important player back in harness for the Hawks. Confident there, broke away from Hayes. And Williams has got it again.
Confidence of Sewell, you called it correctly. Lenny Hayes was right on his tail, but he backed himself to arch the back, break away, and that just gave him a little bit of time to be able to put the ball to the advantage of Williams.
Franklin did some circling. and then resorted to the goal line. Williams might give that a nudge from out there. A noted goal kicker. Never quite on the line. So the Hawks, with the first 3 scoring shots of the night, lead by 8 points.
Alistair Clarkson watches on as Adam Schneider's going to bring the ball in.
Well, Schneider's playing in the back pocket quarters on Rioli, which is most unusual. I've never seen Schneider play as a defender. Of course, Rover forward for Sydney in their premiership team.
Del Santo's kick to Montagna. Nice pick up on the half volley. Hayes to King. Trying to create some run here, the Saints. Sweeps it out wide to Goddard. Another handball the ball. Got it to Fiora, and he's taken over the line by Murphy. Good tackling.
So, Stephen, I was watching that zone that Hawthorn employed right across the ground from that kick out.
Gee.
Always had someone chasing a St Kilda player from behind.
He's still struggling, Del Santo, but he's gutsing it out there at the moment.
Well, he certainly got the corked, and then he got crunched in the tackle. And whilst the cork was an accident, I've got no doubt Alistair Clarkson would be very happy to see his Hawks work over the star Saint midfielder. Might even see them play some unsociable football quarters. Or they don't do that.
Can be an unsociable lot. Morton up the flank. Osborne. Poor kick. Montagna cutting it off. Del Santo immediately under pressure. Good tackle, Franklin.
Gee, Franklin has got a stranglehold on Del Santo. Poor old Del's first 5 minutes. He's been corked, he's been choked, he's been ridden into the ground.
Well, Saints dominating the air there, but Hawthorn with the ball. Sewell, Lewis, strong man, but couldn't break Hayes. Took him on and penalised for holding it. St Kilda's footy. Hayes, along with Luke Ball, St Kilda's top tacklers.
Del Santo, little chip to Dempster. And again, Hawthorn employ this cluster or big zone, whatever you want to call it. It's a dangerous kick in the middle, but that's a terrific mark taken by Blake. Didn't let his teammate down, and he switches wide to the run of Goddard. He chips it to Eddie, who's got about 30 metres on his nearest opponent, but he loses his feet, but he'll go back, and he is within range.
Gee, Dempster's kick, Malcolm, from the wing to the centre. There's a bit of carry time there, and we're seeing... looks like the physio going out to Nick Del Santo. This is the kick by Dempster. Geez, it's a bold, risky kick. Centimetre perfect.
Have to pay $10 for that, Rob. Copyright. Eddie. Not quite make the distance, so a rush behind. So first score of the night going to St Kilda. Hawks 1-2, Saints 1 behind.
Well, they still haven't looked like kicking a goal. That didn't get close. Ladson bringing it back, doing it easily to Mitchell in the corridor, unmanned. Wide for Birchall, Eddie bearing down. Got hold of him, but the arms were still free. Saints, though, get there in some numbers. Ball helping it off to McWalter. Back to Ball, no escape. Ball up.
Pretty good all around that. Really good pressure from both teams there.
So it'll be Campbell against Kazitsky in the ruck. Campbell won it comfortably. Tapped it though straight to Hayes. He got it to Jones. He's improving for St Kilda with every game. To Del Santo. Kazitsky underneath it and takes the mark. There's a free kick going Hawthorn's way, I think, here for a push out. Not sure who it was against, but the recipient is Bateman. So Bateman, quick release. He looks for Campbell. Well done by Jones again, but Rioli swoops and with great skill fires out the left kick. Left foot kick to Williams, who chips towards Franklin. Can't take the mark. And Schneider pounces now. What about the kick from Rioli? It was a beauty. But Montagna, loose handball. Fiora drops the ball as he's tackled by Rioli. Osborne kicks and kicks. 8 points. Exciting stuff. Just couldn't quite finish off the Hawks. They're looking dangerous.
thing about St Kilda, Malcolm, they're getting plenty of the ball. A bit of it, they're turning it over, but at least they're trying to move the ball on quickly. And they did that last week against Carlton. I think they need to do it because they're dangerous when they play with a boldness.
Schneider, Hutchton and Montagna make the clearance for Dempster, and a front-on contact from Bateman without his eyes on the ball. A clear free kick. And now it's Montagna again. Players of both teams wearing the blue and white checked armbands in this blue ribbon cup match. This is McWalter, who had an important run with roll against Carlton last week and did it well. One of his best contributions in a St Kilda win. Lewis having to get it out. Did so to Ladson, to Ellis, Mitchell, Sewell. Hawthorn have started well here. They're looking much the slicker team early. Franklin's one out with Hutchton, and Buddy's got it.
Oh, that is a talent. That is a talent. Maxie Hutchins, a terrific player for St Kilda. He'll keep battling, but that was just sheer absolute strength and class. Don't spin the ball, buddy. We had our little session earlier. Tim?
Well, let's hope he's been watching Greg Norman over the last couple of nights and he's got that toothpaste tube feel.
Kick it.
That's it. He watched the NAB analyzer. The Hawks have their second.
I must say, he did spin it, Tim. It is a little habit he's starting to get into, isn't it? It's okay, I reckon, if you get him 25 metres out in front, though. You're going to kick a lot of those, aren't you, surely?
Friendly fire there from Guerra on Lewis. And absolutely nothing Hutchison could have done there. He did everything physically possible, didn't he?
It was almost the perfect play.
So Lance Franklin's McLeans are showing early. He's got the first. I'm not sure about the toothpaste theory, Malcolm, but he's got the goal.
Yeah, nice soft hands, I thought.
So Hawthorn 2-3. The Saints one behind. Taylor got up high. Got it to Mitchell. Got it to Hodge. High ball inside 50. Rough heads there. Can't take the diving mark. Schneider fed it out to Blake. Well done, St Kilda. Goddard to ball. To Hutchton. Back to ball. He has a bounce. Looks for what's on offer. There's not a lot. He goes sideways to Fisher. He comes back into the corridor and wants to switch. And he does it well in the end. And he finds Jones, who's been busy early. Jones to Schneider, who's continued to run. To Graham. Back to Schneider. Held up by the Hawks. Harvey fed it out. Graham again, tackled by Lewis. Bodies flying everywhere. I think Hodge hurt himself there, but it's play on as it comes out to the half-forward flank, and Osborne's got a metre on his opponent in McQualter. What's he going to do? He goes for home as the lead was provided by Williams, and Williams isn't happy.
Fantastic pressure in the middle of the ground by the Hawks. St Kilda tried desperately to clear it with a few handballs, but they just ran into that brick wall.
They're being swamped with midfield pressure early. Goddard goes for distance and has a good target there, and it's Dempster.
Yeah, and Riewoldt now has Crowd as his opponent. Campbell Brown off.
Riewoldt has the short call from Harvey in game 374. Milne needs one of those little Milne miracles here. He gets a Milne clanger.
Well, I'm just watching this midfield, what Hawthorn do with this spreading out and really giving St Kilda the chance to make a mistake with their skill. I think it's playing a bit of Russian roulette here, Robert. I mean, there's a lot of blokes not playing on anyone.
Taylor edging, Kuzitsky out, did it well. Hodge with the non-preferred, careful with the kick. Murphy, Mitchell, oh, did it well. Now Murphy under the pump. Hodge having to use the left a little carefully again. Graham, though, on the turnover. Coming back, Hawthorn free kick.
Sam Fisher slammed Osborne into the deck. Umpire onto it. Yeah, the Hawks will often just fill space, Malcolm, and they've got enough confidence in their ability to read the play to fill the spaces. Some people call it Clarko's cluster.
Umpires tonight: Shane Stewart, Simon Meredith and Shane McInerney. There's Chance Bateman, couldn't take the mark. There's another crack at it. Dempster snapping at the heels.
Yeah, Dempster will be his tag.
It's been pinged for deliberate. It's a bit tough.
Dempster will be the tag on Chance Bateman. I think that's a good move because that's the role that Dempster does best.
He goes short to Milne, who spills the beans, but manages too easily to get away from Gillam in the end. And Milne gets it again. Slick handball from Hayes. Milne, not 15. Good effort by Riewoldt to try and claim it, though. Harvey's kicks a shank. Snapped up by Rioli to Hodge, and that was just a little bit too fancy deep inside his defensive 50. Del Santo to Montagna, who's run down but does well to get rid of the footy in the nick of time. Fisher. Hawthorn plenty of numbers back. So the Saints will just try and pick a hole in the zone here as Del Santo's got it. In between wing and half forward. Short one to Blake.
If they can get it to Graham, they'd be very happy because he can kick 60 metres.
If you use your skills, if you use your skills all right, you can't afford to do that. That's the only problem. You just start missing your targets. St Kilda, Hawthorn should not touch this ball if the skill's right.
They're taking a long time to try and work it in, and eventually the long delivery comes unstuck.
In this quarter, they've got twice as many disposals than Kilda, something like 80 to 40. But the Hawks have had more inside 50, so they're longer and direct.
It's a very floodable ground, this one, smaller in size than any other. Ball, Harvey, Fisher, Montagna, well done Rioli, got some late pressure and very well played by Crode, getting his body in front of Riewoldt at the crucial moment and delivering for Taylor.
And Taylor gives it off to Ellis. He finds Sewell. The Hawks will be wanting to pump it in quickly if they can, but
so nowhere to go now because they're all down 1-0.
Not a lot on offer, is there? So Sewell pumps it long to a one-on-one. Graham against Hodge. Oh, they held him up, and Lewis just pounced and went short to Williams. So they were that interested in stopping Hodge. Lewis was just a loose man and said, thank you very much.
No, you're spot on there, Quarters, and such is the reputation and talents of Hodge. The focus was 2-on-1. Graham's got the job on Luke Hodge, and Schneider, he's learning the hard way how to play in that back line.
Mark Williams, 1 goal, 1 so far. Oh, it's a beautiful kick. Hawks get their third.
Gee,
what does Ross Lyon do?
Well, it's a skill error down the other end, isn't it? I mean, it's a kicking error.
Yeah, you were right when you said it. Yeah. They turn it over, they're goners.
Yeah. And that's actually what happens. Once you do that float and you miss it up and you're not competent, the forward line down the other end's got 2 or 3 players in it. If you're half smart, you just have to distribute it. Easy goals. No pressure goals.
Yeah.
The third man, Williams, 2 goals in the opening quarter. Hawthorn with a 20-point break, and St Kilda in lots of trouble early. Campbell crossing the line, getting some body on King. Sewell taking it off Luke Ball to Mitchell, and here go the Hawks again, and this time it's Roughhead's turn.
Gee, it's a nice long kick, Tim, and Blake was caught napping. He was caught 2 metres behind Roughhead. The long kick came a little bit at an angle and to the advantage side of Roughhead, and Blake just let himself down by not being half a metre in front.
From outside 50, but kickable for Jared Roughhead. Well offline.
He's gone to that about 4 or 5 step kick. I actually don't like it. I don't think you get enough momentum, but the thing that surprised me, he's made the distance easy.
Wasn't it? Yeah, sweet off the boot, wasn't it? Well, when we were down at ground level, Malcolm, we looked at Jared Roughhead, and the legs of Roughhead and Crode, huge.
As the ball comes out to the wing for the Saints, it's marked by Fiora, who chips to Jones. Didn't hit him on the full. So Hawks get the ball back. Murphy. concedes some territory and finds Bateman, who goes back into the corridor to Hodge. He's got loose men on the outer wing. One of them's Birchall and one of them is Crow. So he gives it to Birchall, but he misses the target by a hand. That puts Birchall under pressure. Eddie comes in. Crow does another go.
No advantage, no advantage.
It's a free kick going to St Kilda, so they mucked that one up, the Hawks.
Well, this is the first real give the ball back after an easy option. Should pay here, the Hawks.
Hayes to Montagna. Tight angle. Does the discipline thing. There's a whole cluster of Hawks there. And he threw that. He threw that, Bateman, and he's penalised.
Sorry, one-handed try.
Yeah, good call from the umpire. As he was tackled, he went to rush it through, but instead of handballing it through, he threw it through. So Dempster's got the free kick.
And Dempster has a career total of 10 goals.
Make it 11. And boy, did the Saints need that one.
Well, Croyd's missed handball, and then Birchall just went straight to ground, chasing the footy under pressure. It was always set up for the Saints, if they just remained a bit calm, to control it. And that's exactly what happened.
Malcolm, I can't understand why you would have Chance Bateman at this centre bounce down there in the goal square. In fact, he's starting to run away from it now, but he's not a backman. He's better value up around the wing.
A few controversial attempts to rush behinds today. A couple at the MCG this afternoon were more successful than that from Bateman. The Saints might be gathering some momentum. McWalter stabbing it wide. Dempster, the man from Snowy Rovers, the household word today, finds Hayes. Rather McWalter again at 50.
Well, they're certainly playing on and trying to get the handball going, and I reckon that's a good sign from St Kilda.
Doesn't like the distance. Is that 15? It's just.
The Hawks have got 16 in the defensive 50.
King to the very teeth. Easy for the defenders usually in that situation. Rough head. Good collect. Releasing Mitchell. Ever cool and constructive. Ladson waiting. Sewell. Rough head. Useful cog down the back in this play. And now Murphy as Hawthorn finds some space. The Saints have got back this time, and they're going to make Hawthorn's build-up the more difficult than most of those so far in this first quarter. The ball's coming back as
blood rule. Luke Hodges coming off.
Umpire Shane McInerney smelling the blood.
Have a look at this as the Saints try to put it in. You can just see Hawthorn players everywhere. They just fill the spaces, and you can see the panic by the St Kilda players. They don't want to kick it to them.
Also got a good idea that that kick probably wasn't 15 metres.
Well, there's a loose man out wide here. And it's Jared Roughhead, who just from 55 metres throws it on the boot and kicks a monster goal. How easy was that?
How powerful is he? All right. I don't think I've ever seen a player kick a ball further off 2 steps, 3 steps. Amazing. It's not even 2 steps.
It's just like grabbing the toothpaste tube and just giving it a really hard squeeze.
We're looking at the legs of Jared Roughhead for no other reason, Malcolm, that they're powerful.
Can I tell you, that wasn't it. That was a 1.5 steps.
Anything you want to tell us, Robert?
60. Oh, you got a fancy. Oh, that doesn't matter.
Look at Crode's legs. Aren't they lovely big legs too?
Gee, what a kick.
Nothing you want to tell us, Rob?
Spent a lot of time looking at Big Nicks all those years ago. Be interested to spend a bit of time on comparisons. Here's Jones leading Brown. Well played by Brown. Montagna pinching it away. Fiora reinstated. Only played one game since being dropped after round 4 before tonight. Ball into half forward, and Kazitsky. Good strong hands there.
He's in pretty good form, Kazitsky. If they can get some decent ball to him, he'll mark most of them. I reckon Ross Lyon will be filthy on that last goal to Roughhead. Now we see the Kazitsky mark, because Roughhead had the ball in the defensive 50 when the Hawks had all of those players back there, and then he just pushed his way from defensive 50 midfield up to the forward 50, and Blake didn't pick him up on the way through.
Kazitsky outstanding against Carlton 8 nights ago, and he's produced St Kilda's second goal. It was a good kick.
Oh, much more traditional kick, but nevertheless a good one. And yeah, his form's has picked up. I just wonder if he's used often enough, Robert. You know, just as the go-to player.
Yeah, I think they probably go too much to Revolt. And Kazitsky certainly in form is one they should go to a lot. I also like to see him have a run in the ruck just to get him, keep him flowing.
Notice Adam Schneider's gone into the forward pocket, Rob. The experiment didn't last long.
No, it didn't, but it's something that they have to work at and build at, because Schneider, it's no good Schneider just being strictly a small forward specialist. He's got to be better than that and give more value to his team.
Sam Mitchell gets the clearance, pops it up to the 50. Franklin attacks it, but that's good stuff from Fiora, running back with the flight of the ball. Tuck got it out to Ellis. Hurried kick, Roughhead. Flew. Crumbs to Williams. There's a whistle here at his leg, so Williams will go back and kick his third if he's accurate. Big first quarter from Mark Williams. He's got the free kick. He's only 25 metres out directly in front.
Well, Goddard's been his opponent, and Gilbert has gone back there to have a crack at him and has legged him.
Goddard had gone on to Rioli, I think, with Schneider going to the other end of the ground.
Mark Williams. Should be bread and butter for him. He's got 3.
Just in all seriousness, what's that? Certainly a free kick as he went down to the legs. Hasn't he got beautiful relaxed hands? I know just that lovely hold on the ball, not gripping it tightly, just a really nice comfortable run in. Yeah, lovely kick.
He's one of the best in the game, Malcolm, and pretty much from any distance too, his confidence is there.
The key man in the first quarter, Mark Williams, 3 goals, and Hawthorn with a lead of 3.5 goals. King the hand on the ball, but taking it into enemy territory, and it's helped on by Tuck. The soccer kick going nowhere. Goddard to Fisher, running straight into Williams. Almost had a free kick and another shot. Ball been very good for the Saints. To Goddard, to Harvey. Now Hayes. Fisher playing on into trouble. Revolt there for him. Good effort, Campbell Brown, an expert in that situation. And he did pretty well there too. No, it's come around now.
Through that.
The judge to throw, so it's a free kick to Schneider. So in the last 35 seconds of the quarter, St Kilda badly needing a goal, and they're not badly placed here, although Hawthorn have most of their team back in the defensive arc. Harvey too far out for Revolt.
Push in the back.
Hands in the back.
Bad free kick to give away.
I'll tell you what, I looked at the umpire. He didn't know whether to pay it or not. Hesitated, and then he finally decided that he would. What we've seen in this first quarter, gee, that wouldn't squash a fly.
Rob, I reckon as a full-back, Grogan's starting to do this. Last week he gave away a couple of softies too. You've almost got to let the marker.
Yeah.
You can't. He was underneath it anyhow. I reckon you've got to be clean.
So an important kick here from 45. Revolt kicks the goal, and he puts St Kilda within 15 points.
Yeah, I think, just getting back to that point, as a fullback, key defender, I reckon you don't give any cheap kicks, free kicks away. And there was just almost no need for it. Both players were virtually under the ball, and I'm sure Rewald would have been too, but nevertheless, a goal.
Sam Fisher has been moved on to roughhead. I think that's a good way to go.
So the second term underway. Hawks by 15 points. 15 free kicks given in the first quarter. And there's an early one in the second, and it's a pay-end-looking Sam Mitchell who picks himself up. Clear enough of head, though, to go one way, then the other, and that was a mark to Hodge. And what a good one it was. And he can have a shot from 30 metres.
Well, you can see Mitchell accidentally kneed in the head by Lenny Hayes and bangs it on the left foot hard and low. Is that a mark?
Paid a mark or a free kick? Whatever. Luke Hodge.
It's like he's had root canal surgery, doesn't he?
Very creative with bandages.
I think the umpire paid a mark, and I don't think it was a mark.
I just hope it's not adhesive all the way round. Thought of it coming off. Not a pleasant one. Should be a goal here. And it is. Hawks by 21.
Become a bit of a goal kicker late, hasn't he? He certainly can move up forward and kick a goal. He has kicked multiple goals throughout the season.
17th this year, Malcolm.
Yeah, just particularly in the last sort of 6 or 7 weeks, become more of a goal kicker. And a very good player.
Luke Hodge gets the goal. Was it a mark? Was it a free kick? It certainly wasn't a mark. He didn't hold on to it long enough. So maybe a bit of a blue there. Hawks get the goal. They lead by 21. Here's Hodge again. Fed it out. Unsuccessfully. Snared by Graham. Got it to Schneider. And advantage paid as Harvey finds Revolt.
Yeah.
Backwards to Graham. It's a lazy old kick, but it finds Dempster. Snapping at his heels is Rioli, but Dempster gets boot to ball in time and finds a loose Robert Harvey. He goes for a bit of a trot, then handballs to Montagna. Just gets the kick in the nick of time into the forward area. No mark to Sewell. Schneider tries to break his way through. Good tackle by Sewell. And the umpire will bounce.
Gillum now playing on Nick Revolt. Brown started on him and then crowed, and now Gillum.
Campbell not able to get to the drop for Hawthorn. Ladson gives it to him, and Ellis brings it away for the Hawks.
Great kick.
To Morton.
I wonder if that's a plan on Rewald with those three swapping over, Rob.
I'm not sure, Malcolm. Yeah. It's not as if Nick's been playing so very well that they've had to keep changing opponents.
Good kick from Ellis to Williams. Oh, Franklin was never really in position, but imposed himself physically on Hudson and took the mark.
He's getting a fair bit of close treatment too.
Well,
here's a nice tester, Malcolm.
Yeah, in all fairness, no matter who was kicking this footy, it would be what, 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10 maybe?
Yes, let's see which way it swings. Some good judges say from this spot it goes right to left.
There's the spin, see? He's just... Yeah, I'd like to see him not do that.
He's 1 out of 1 for the night. Big angle, big hook. Minor score.
Big build-up. Same result.
There's the close checking from Hudson. Somehow Franklin still managed to take the mark from the kick in. The Saints go short. The mark taken by Harvey also goes short and finds Goddard. Little kick to Milne, who's been quiet so far. To Ball. Now over to Del Santos, recovered from that heavy knock early in the game.
Gee, they've got numbers in the midfield, but not up in the forward 50.
Robert Harvey, beautiful sidestep on Mitchell. And good delivery to the ball. Good usage here by the Saints. Del Santo. That's really well worked by St.Kilda, and Jones should go back and have a shot. Not the best of kicks, but certainly well within range.
That's what I say, Rob. It's a bit of Russian roulette, Hawthorn play doing that. If the skill's good and the St Kilda players are cool, you can get shots on goal.
And they looked inboard twice the Saints, didn't they? Yes. So they know they've got numbers inboard.
Yep.
Clinton Jones, 4 goals for this season, and that's home. Saints get their 4th. Mature age recruits to St Kilda, but gee, he's starting to find his real niche in this team. Doing a good job for St Kilda.
So the Saints are hanging around. The margin lingering at just under 3 straight kicks. Again, Campbell coming hard at King, but King able to get the hand onto the ball. To no avail, though, because Sewell gives to Ellis. Fisher with a decisive spoil. It'll stay alive. Oh, well played by Williams. Oh, beautifully played. Another tester for Buddy from closer range.
Gee, Sam Fisher came across to help Hodgson out with the spoil, and that was great, but the ball just didn't go out of play, and Williams very, very cool and calm to set his big mate up.
Bit straighter that time. Didn't help.
Well, you get the whole box and dice with Buddy. He's the new Richo.
What do you think, Mr. Analyzer?
Well, I mean, they start hurting you. I don't care who you are. You may be relaxed and calm and all that, but I mean, it's just not hitting the boot at all, is it? I mean, we've got, and he does run out too far. I don't mind the swear, but it's just far too far.
Montagna kicks to the wing. From the side was Bateman. And he's got Guerra on in the middle. And he kicks to him. He's a beautiful user of the football, Brent Guerra. He goes long. That wasn't the best of options. And it's cut off by Blake. And he goes to Fisher.
Right on it.
He's got Del Santo short.
Yeah, they're looking inboard, the Saints.
Well, there's virtually not one Hawthorn player standing anyone. They're just standing space. It's interesting ploy. I know football changes every week from month to month and year to year, but geez, I don't reckon you give an opposition an easy kick if you can help it.
So it's the Hawks by 16. Taylor got the tap beautifully to Lewis, who had a fresh airy. Graham got hurt there. Might have got Lewis's boot to his shin. Good hands by Taylor to Guerra. There's a few Hawks here. Sewell to Bateman. Nothing to go to, so he doubles back. And kicks towards Mitchell. That's out on the foot. So free kick to St Kilda at half-back.
Rob Harvey copped a hard shepherd from Birchall. Quite fair. Bateman looked back, saw Rob Harvey and thought, I reckon I can run him off his legs. And in the chase, Harvey was hit pretty hard. He's struggling on the wing.
Hodgson to Fisher. He'll be right. Cop tougher than that over the last 20 years. Only a game behind Craig Bradley after tonight. Number 4 on the all-time list, the champion blue. Simon Madden about 3 further out. Here comes Franklin, and that is a lovely kick to Rioli. 2 of them coming at him. He was brave. He might get a result. He will get. No, he won't. Oh dear. Missed everything. It's still alive.
That was an amazing marking contest because everyone was brave, Tim. Maxie Hodgson, he just came back with it. Well done to them. Yeah, well done to the 3 players.
So it's in Hawthorn's forward pocket. They're squandering a couple of opportunities in this second turn. Fisher to King. Underneath it, there's a couple of Hawks, and one of them is Mitchell. And the captain takes the mark. And quick kick to Franklin. Oh, gee, that's a tough call. That's what a defender does. He spoils. I don't think Gilbert did anything wrong there.
Well, it'll be interesting to watch it replay, because normally if a player is going for the ball, contact from behind is regarded as incidental.
Oh, that's a ridiculous free kick.
That is a ridiculous free kick. The crowd's seen it on the replay and they are incensed, and they've got every right to.
This is it's going to become costly at some stage. I know he kicked a great goal in a final last year. Don't spin it, son. Just let it. Oh,
Neil Craig must be thinking, what did I do to deserve that?
Look, he just doesn't need to veer as much. Just right-hand goal post. That's a better kick.
To Franklin. Courtesy of a very, very lucky free kick.
Well, let's have a look at it again.
He did everything right there, Gilbert. Everything right.
I agree with your Quarters. I think that's a tough call. I think the coach thinks it's a tough call.
Some relief in that.
It's a very good stat to have a look at. Just shows you the different way the two teams are playing. St Kilda, a lot of handball, a lot of chip, a lot of possession of the ball. Hawthorn, far more direct. And why wouldn't you be when you've got Franklin and Roughhead inside the forward 50?
Good figure in that it helps us do the percentage, Rob. They've had 53% more disposals, the Saints, and they trail by 22 points. Hawks have the footy again. Taylor to Saul, well tackled by Goddard, producing the turnover, but it's coming back.
Said he was legged. Said Saul was legged.
The tackle slip below the knees at the free kick every time.
One arm did get him at one point below the knee. Hawthorn again. Taylor, Bateman, ball hanging in the air, giving the spoiler Armitage time. Eddie Del Santo on twinkle toes, did it well. Forced wide with the kick. Goddard. Hawthorn fans optimistically, I fancy, asking for a deliberate out. They won't get it.
Gee, Sewell off and Hodge on. Tough nut off, tough nut on.
Kaczynski the tap. It was snared by Lewis. Got it to Taylor, stripped of the football. And that ball's not going anywhere. So secondary bounce. Hawthorn by 22. Goddard's got 13. Harvey's got 13. Montagna's got 13 disposals for St Kilda. For the Hawks, 11 each to Mitchell and Sewell. Ineffective tap by Taylor for the Hawks. Here's Jones to Hayes. A couple of Saints loose at half forward. Marked by Armitage. He gives the handball to Ball. Can go all the way here, but stayed right, so behind to St Kilda.
Just their third inside 50. We're 13 minutes into this second term.
It's only Luke Ball's second kick. He's had 9 hand passes, and he's been good. Now Mitchell,
free kick off the ball here. It'll go to the Hawks. It's against Fiora for a push on Osborne at centre half forward.
And Fiora, as John Arlott used to say in the cricket broadcasts, with the guilty air of a boy caught stealing jam. Now it's been turned around.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the two umpires aren't quite sure what's going on, but the Saints will take it.
Sure. Anyone know what's going on?
No.
Hayes. That's not a great placement. Revolt with 2 against him. Fisher there. McWalter calling for it short. He blows long to nothing. But Campbell Brown.
Well, there's a free kick over St Kilda. It should have gone back to the wing where the football was. So they actually got penalised in a way. Anyway, that's done and dusted. The Hawks have the football. It's Lewis. And
It's a free kick here.
It's a free kick for a push against Kaczynski.
Well, Kaczynski's on the bench, isn't he?
Well, they've got an extra player on the ground, if that's the case.
A couple of nice jumper punches too from the number 23. And Osborne's not backward coming forward either. In the meantime, Roughhead pumps it long. Franklin's being held off the ball. And we've got a rush behind.
Roughhead kicked that ball in. He was on the wing. The reason why he was out there, he was in the defensive area. Let's have a look what happens here. Osborne not happy with Cossey's treatment of Bateman.
Saints have almost given it up here. They just hold together. Hodgson the ball. And Goddard. Ignored the first hand pass, gives to Harvey. And he's just a bit hot with the kick. Hawks with numbers there. Doesn't guarantee them a win. There'll be a ball up.
Just open up a bit this game. Always watch that bit of jumping punching there.
Gee, it's a beauty.
Just opening up a bit, Rob. They're just starting to tongue in a bit. You know how they've been up and down the ground, and it's pretty hot at the moment. It's been a tough game.
So ball kick to the wide open territory on the wing. The race is on. It's Blake, who seems pretty happy to see it over the line. And Hawthorn lead by 22, just past the halfway mark of the second term. Must-win game for the Saints. They're in 8th position on the ladder when this round started. Have won 3 in a row and have won 6 of the last 8 against the Hawks. Advantage paid. St Kilda have the free kick. Now it's coming back.
You're about to get tackled.
Saints fans not happy.
Right, St Kilda fans aren't happy. 2013 is the free kick count.
Bit no win sometimes, the advantage.
Actually, it's 12-10, I think, Rob. The free kicks, is it? 12-10. St Kilda 12, Hawthorn 10.
Your right quarters.
Bad kick from King. Ellis intervening. Michael Osborne, the leap of the season, but he didn't come down with the footy.
Unbelievable.
A car has he just dropped a car. To paraphrase Steve Waugh.
What a stoppage in the game to see it again.
Downfield.
The umpire's given it.
St Kilda kick downfield.
It's getting a bit willing, this.
Downfield kick.
The Queenslander.
It was downfield.
Michael
And
Osborne
it's not.
stood.
Downfield.
Was it Stephen King stood on his head?
It was what was that? Michael Mitchell, wasn't it, for Richmond that took one like that many years ago?
He went about a half an hour early.
Let's have a look.
That's a jump early, isn't it?
What?
Oh, no. What a drop. Have a look at that.
Oh, what a pity. What a pity.
I'll have you line. He just chopped the car.
What a great angle that is. Oh, what a shame he missed.
It would have been one of the all-time greats. Revolt across the face for a behind. The difference is 21 points. There haven't been many go higher. That was a classic.
That was worth coming here tonight to see that, wasn't it? Isn't it?
Well, we don't see enough.
Did Gary Ablett hold on to his more or less when he was awarded that mark at the MCG?
A fraction longer than that one. Nah, a fraction longer. At least it came down with him just a touch.
Gary Pert reckons he didn't hold it.
Sure.
So the Hawks have possession as Hodge kicks to the Dockland side of the ground. Ellis to Birchall. Not much happening on the scoreboard. That's a drop mark, but Hawthorn still maintain possession. For how long, though? Murphy fed it out. Taylor broke one tackle, managed to get the handball away. It is an ugly game at the moment. It is very messy. Birchall back to Gillam, who'll switch. Now he finds Brown. Can he use it a bit better? He chips to the wing and finds Sewell.
To Bateman. Hasn't been a goal for a little while. Margin 21 points. Bateman brave there, taking them on. Franklin in the middle of 2. Has given away a free kick. St Kilda's ball.
Yeah, the big ruckman Stephen King there just filled in the hole just to drop back and help out on Franklin and just made a nuisance of himself, and Franklin's given away the free kick.
Buddy might be inspired by Michael Osborne's leap.
I think we all are.
He'd fancy he might be able to go one better. Hodgson to King, touched the grass. Danger here. Oh, Williams had a 4th goal staring him in the face. Brilliant. Rioli to Franklin for his 3rd goal. Rioli, the architect, and his teammates know it. Franklin has 3.
Well, that's the Max Hudson error. You just can't put the ball at the toenails of a ruckman. Always worry, Malcolm, when you give it to a big lumbering ruckman anyway.
What about the handball?
Yes, that's great play in the end. Very clever.
Sensational by Rioli, but Maxie Hudson, you made life hard for your ruckman.
So 3 to Franklin. It's the Hawks by 27. And they're on the go again. As Mitchell got it to Campbell, kicks it inside 50. Staying down was Williams. Borks, laconic left foot snap. Osborne's in front, good spoil. That's a high tackle on Dempster, and the umpire spotted it.
Thank you, please.
That's not 15. Well, the umpire said that's okay. Gee, it's about 10 anyway. Fiora to McQualter. Good spoil by Bateman. But the Saints have the numbers. Montagna back to McQualter. Back to Montagna to Goddard. Now over to Eddie. Montagna keeps running and receives. Great work from the Saint as he puts his team back inside 50. And Revolt will run into an open goal. And slots it home. And well played, Lee Montagna.
Well, it was well played by Montagna. He just ran and ran and ran. Took about 3 handball receives. And we'll see it here. Nick Revolt makes a good decision not to go for the contest. I think there's 2 Hawks up. He stays down, knows that Kosicki will do the contest work, and he'll take the crumbs.
Unusual role for Revolt. Montagna doing the hard running, setting it up. Revolt waiting down and crumbing.
Good contest by Kosicki, Tim. And Campbell Brown, 3rd man up, paid the penalty.
21 points is the difference. Second quarter well advanced for the Hawks. Always seem to have an answer. Williams with Gilbert. Fisher can see it over. Each time St Kilda look as though they might be edging close, the Hawks just seem to produce a little bit of magic. Kick another goal. King, the rucking and the roving. And he'll be at it again. There'll be a ball up here.
Big night for Stephen King in the ruck. He's got the 2 young Hawthorn ruckmen who are really developing in Campbell and Taylor. King's doing about 70-80% of it, and Kosicki doing the rest.
Great form last week, King. Hayes to Montagna down that same wing. That's not so good. It was meant for Harvey. It was chopped off by Gillam. So another throw in right on the wing.
2 goals to Nick Revolt so far tonight as Robert Harvey has a break.
Have a look at it. Okay, let him know.
Mitchell doing some good work in the clearances to Sewell, to Birchall, back to Mitchell, and he kicks and finds Morton.
Breaking.
He tried to milk the free kick. And Morton with only the 1 boot kicks and kicks pretty well, and the mark is taken by Hodge.
He's a star. Absolute star.
That's what happens when you don't have 2 footy boots on. So he lost the boot. Off it came.
And then he slipped over.
But all's well that ends well, as Luke Hodge took a great mark, and he will line up for his second. Converting at 70% this year. He's got 17 goals, 7 next to his name. Steady approach. Goal umpire doesn't move. 2 to Hodge. 9th goal of the Hawks. That was a beautiful approach towards goal, Malcolm, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice relaxed run, isn't it? I'm really keen on that. I know we're talking about it a bit tonight with Buddy, but That's it. He tried to mark that at its highest point and really stretched the arms. And that's that slip. It's amazing what boots. It'd be a terrible game without boots, wouldn't it, when you think about it? And you look at that.
Living proof of the old Hawthorn adage, injuries above the shoulders don't count.
And Goddard now in the forward line after starting on the half-back flank. Kosicki doing the ruck work.
Campbell winning it to Lewis. Good takeaway by the Hawks, and Osborne snaring that one. Getting rid of it quickly. Tuckett is probing to Roughhead. And Roughhead can have a shot with the man on the mark inside 40.
Medium-sized players for Hawthorn are very strong overhead, as evidenced by Osborne's mark just then, and Hodges where he kicked the goal, and just getting the clearances too with Lewis.
This really could stretch the lead alarmingly for the Saints, and it squeezes home. It's out to 33 points, close to half-time.
Yeah, he's just that quick kick forward. Anything can happen. Forwards in front. We've seen Dobson already have a big jump at the football, and then that lovely kick from Tark. And here he is. Normally a pretty good kick, isn't he, this lad? He's just gone off a little bit, but certainly doesn't run in as long as a run as many others. Clarko's pretty happy with that. Gee, there's a coach showing some emotion with a smile, Robert. Isn't that good to see?
That is, and I just mentioned Goddard, and he's now been told to get in the back line to shore things up. The last thing Ross Lyon wants is another Hawthorn goal before the main break.
Kosicki won the tap. Here's ball. Gets bowled over. Mitchell's been dominant this quarter. Got it over to Tuck. Got boot to ball. Scrubby old kick to half forward. Now it's a good old-fashioned one-on-one here, and Blake, the big man, did reasonably well, but couldn't quite control the football. Osborne's been busy. That's not a great handball, and it's gathered back for St Kilda by Jones, who's off. Good chase by Osborne, and that was enough to force the turnover, and the mark's taken by Crode at half-back.
Well, because Goddard's extra in defence, the Hawks have got extra numbers back there.
1 metre.
As Hodge kicks to Guerra. He's got Lewis on here on the wing. He was the late inclusion tonight for Young. His kick finds Campbell. Now goes to the 50. Ladson. Spalling done by Dempster. Good tackle by Ladson, and he's been penalised.
Super tackle, and then he lets his opponent know it.
So Rick Ladson has the footy at half forward.
The Hawks turning the screw late in the half, leading by 5.5 goals.
He's got a problem here because there's extra St Kilda players back in the hole. There'll be lots of Hawks players free elsewhere.
The ball usage has actually turned Hawthorn's way. They're starting to dominate the game. Taylor bombing it high. Franklin with 3 against him, waits down, and then took his eyes off it as it came to him. There'll be a ball up. Smart by Franklin. He knew he was going to be heavily outnumbered, so he just backed off, waited for it to fall off their hands, and then I think he probably had his eyes on the goals when it did. Danger here for St Kilda. They don't want to give another one up in the last minute of the half. Luke Ball bravely, but Williams snapping, missing this time. He's had a good first half though. 3 goals too.
It'll be a free kick to St Kilda because Jared Roughhead's just slammed a Saint into the deck.
Well, Osborne is getting up gingerly too for the Hawks, so not sure what happened there.
Play on.
In the meantime, St Kilda get it to half forward. Armitage puts it into the goal square, and Schneider's got it. So this is a very important kick for the Saints on the cusp of half-time. As off the ball, the Hawks, the Osborne was the one that was perhaps dealt with, and maybe it was a retaliation act that cost the Hawks probably a goal here. The Schneider should nail this. Improves the angle and kicks the goal. And let's have a look at what happened. It was Fiora and Osborne. Apparently, we'll have a look at it. Hopefully our cameras caught it. So this is what was happening after the goal. Well, 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other. There, the umpire was right there. Roughhead, though, didn't like it. He started getting involved, and the free kick was paid.
So the retaliator got caught, Quarters.
Yes, not for the first time.
Now let's have a look at this again. I think Michael Osborne might be disappointed in that. He's a tough boy from Labrador on the Gold Coast.
So right on half-time, St Kilda kicking a desperately needed goal.
Your hands out, stay there, tails.
Kajitsky from the centre, I think, might give up that opportunity. And we'll go to half-time with Hawthorn 28 points to the good.
And we will see one of the leaps, the best leaps in the history of the game, from Michael Osborne.
Oh!
Goodbye, Toyota. It was an absolute classic, but unfortunately couldn't quite take home the chocolates. A break from the Dome. It's the Hawks by 28. So the Saints start the second half 28 points down. Nick Revolts gave his Chargers a big rev up. Kazitsky needs to do a bit more, Rob. Just the 3 disposals so far.
And Stephen Milne. They need something out of Kazitsky and Milne. They've started with Lenny Hayes up in the forward line. And Dempster's in at the centre bounce. This is interesting.
It'll be Campbell against King. King tapped it to Del Santo, who knocked it over to Dempster. Gilbert to Montagna. Quick hands. Del Santo, Jones, Milne. Looking for Goddard. Finds him. Now Fiora on the right boot. Finds Del Santo. You've got a really big knock, a big corky early in the game, but has managed to run that out. To Jones, who's been pretty busy. Back to Del Santo. And that's chopped off by Roughhead.
Roughhead gets in the defensive half so much. He's a really good player, is Roughhead.
One-on-one here.
And Franklin's got the better of it. Hudstamo had a run at him. The bounce, sitting, hanging. But he's got a man calling for it. Just couldn't get it off to Ladson, who's now got numbers against him. Gilbert tied up by Saul. And there'll be a ball up. Not sure about the players, and I'm not sure about you, Quarters, but I am really fired up after that half-time address from the coach. Close to Hawthorn's goal. King banging it out of there, but haphazardly. Campbell, Birchall in the Franklin direction again, and at the back it's Morton. Free kick, or is it a mark? It's a mark and it's play on.
What was that?
And Morton got carried away and didn't know what he was doing.
He's kicked a grubber.
The Saints hang together again, but only just. Montagna. Ball. Ever brave. High tackle, lucky for Schneider. After the initial high contact, Hodge had him just where he wanted him. There's Jared Morton still wondering about that one that got away.
Adam Schneider. Not much on offer. Goes the short option to Ball. Ball coming up for his 15th disposal. Goddard and Montagna have got the game high for the Saints with 19 apiece. Mitchell 16 for the Hawks. That outstanding second quarter did Sam Mitchell. And there's the kick from Morton.
Comedy of errors.
Ladson getting some treatment. Ball's on centre wing. There's Tuck and Del Santo. Fed out by Montagna. Back to Del Santo. To Jones, who gets tackled by Morton. Releases the footy to Fiora. Back to Jones. He's going backwards at the moment. And luckily, that kick finds Del Santo. So he's amongst it early in the third quarter. And so is this man, Montagna, who kicks it into space. It's a good kick. Getting back. And that's a courageous mark taken by Williams. That was a beauty.
Well, again, half forwards of Hawthorn in Williams and Roughhead pushing well back to help out.
Great stuff from Williams. Did everything right. Courageous. Positioned the body well.
Fend off high.
A fend off.
Got him in the neck.
Just hanging in here, the Saints, aren't they? They're just trying to get forward. Hawthorn doing a reasonable job.
Yeah, they've got plenty of the ball, the Saints. They just can't get it over half forward.
So Del Santo's free kick. Now Armitage. Saints just 6 goals for the night so far. Del Santo gives him the wide offer. Keeps it wide for Revolt. Well, it's not the easy way home, but it is kickable. He's well within range.
They needed to get a mark inside the forward 50. They finally got one. There's that mark of Williams.
And the fend off from Brad Sewell.
Yeah, Nick Del Santo's had 8 disposals in the first 4 minutes of this third quarter.
Revolt with 2 in the first half. That is a lovely kick. That's the leader's goal. And the Saints are within 22.
Yeah, nice kick. Kick a couple of nice ones now. Got that one over the back earlier in the second quarter, and it's a goal in each quarter.
Hit nicely over the ball.
Now this is interesting. 30 disposals to 10, all St Kilda's way in this third term. King is off, and Blake, the undersized Blake, doing the ruck work.
Hold on now.
Well, they pegged a couple of goals back St Kilda. They trailed by 34. They've cut it back to 22, and they're on the attack again. Stephen Milne. What's he going to do with it? He looks for his skipper. Overcooked the kick. Revolt. Got it out to Jones, to Montagna. Back to Revolt. He's got 3. Oh, it's a great kick! Superlative stuff from the skipper. He's got 4, and he is leading from the front. Magnificent stuff from Nick Revolt, and he is turning this game around single-handedly at the moment.
Really good movement out of the middle. Good stuff to get it going forward. Still the best way to kick a goal, Rob, isn't it? Get it up quickly to your forwards and let the good ones play. Yeah, look at this.
That is a terrific kick. He's been pretty accurate tonight. Confidence up. Not wearing the bandages, Quarters, that's why. Freedom. Not restricted.
What would you have said to a player if you were coaching and he came to play with all those bandages on him? Would you make him take them off?
I'd talk to the doctor first, and if he said they're absolutely essential, keep them on, but if they're not, we'll get rid of them.
Saints alive. 16 points is the margin. And they press again. Blake. Milne starting to get active. Jones on the non-preferred. Revolt. Gillam making the spoil. Ball low, receiving it. Milne again. Just lobbing and hoping. Kajitsky was there, but he was at the back. Hawks with numbers around it. Work it clear. Revolt everywhere at the moment. And it's against him this time. As
50 metres. 50 metres.
50 metres against him as well. Murphy did that well. Got himself over the ball and drew the illegal contact. So respite for the Hawks, with St Kilda starting to come at them and bringing the crowd to life after a rather subdued first half. Hawks on the build. The touch kick straight to Gilbert.
They're throwing everything at him at the moment, the Saints, but not a matter blue there. No mark, though, awarded to Rioli. Mitchell cleverly back to Osborne. Kicks around the corner to Hodge. It looks like he's labouring a little bit. In fact, it's Williams, my apologies. Taps it over the top to Birchall, who from 55 pumps it home into the goal square. And it's a free kick to the Hawks for a hold.
That's a bad free kick, so close to goal. I mean, the defensive spoil shouldn't have been too difficult.
3 to Roughhead. Let's have a look at a replay here. Just when the Saints were looking the goods.
It was a quick whistle, though. I mean, he's obviously seen something, because it was... Oh, yeah. They just don't like that.
Sam Fisher.
They don't like it.
Fistful of jumper, correct call.
Gee, it is cheap though, isn't it?
But how can you not pay it, Malcolm?
Oh, I think you've got
It's a clear breach.
Yes, it is. It is. And for quite a while too. Like it wasn't just a little tug once.
It's a free kick to the Saints.
Who's your ruckman? Who is your ruckman?
Give it to Jason Blake.
You're nominating
Give it to
Ruck?
Jason Blake. Give it to Jason Blake.
They're trying to work out who the ruckman is.
Shane.
They're trying to work out who the ruckman is. The umpire saying, who's your ruckman?
50.
And it's a 50-metre penalty.
Interchange breach. St.Kilda kick.
Has anyone got any idea what's going on?
What was that all about?
Interchange
It's an
breach.
interchange breach.
Ah, right.
Interchange breach.
Interchange
He's the
breach.
mark. 19 men on the field.
So the free kick was awarded to Sir Serber.
Yep, on the dot there. Sammy Mitchell, 5 metres, please. Here's the mark. This is your mark. The dot's on the ground.
Well, someone was very adamant that it was a free to Jason Blake. I was screaming in the house down.
They couldn't work out who the ruckman was because they're all midgets. He's not that small, but he's not a ruckman.
Important kick. The Hawks stretching the lead again. Blake with the chance to immediately knock 6 points off it. Straight forward shot. Straight kick. It's back to 16.
Well, this is. I mean, it's fascinating that there was one a few weeks ago.
We've had two. The St Kilda were involved in the last one, and there was one the same night too. There's the third time I think a goal has been awarded from the interchange breach.
Yeah, you would think it's almost impossible to get wrong. There's a line.
Yeah, it's not that hard, is it?
No, you would think so.
Wonder who the naughty boy is.
Just over arousal, I guess, on the part of players. I did hear from Fremantle last week who committed one that's what went wrong.
Saints have been very good with the clearances in this third quarter. And Del Santo, the runner's just gone to him. Del Santo is running hot in this third term. 10 disposals. Sewell starting to, well, he should be putting the brakes on.
Clearances in this match, 19 Hawthorn, 18 St Kilda. And the Saints really making their run. Well, so relaxed now in the Hawthorn box. At one stage led by 34. It's back to 16.
Milne's lifted his game in this third quarter.
Ball leads the chase. Bateman hot on his heels. Ball didn't panic, got it back to Milne. And that's an excellent kick. Great vision from Stephen Milne. He finds Schneider, who wants to go. And go he does to Blake, who can have a shot at goal here.
Yeah, well, Blake's given them a bit of a lift in the ruck. Not so much with his ruck work, just his mobility around the ground.
When he drills this, it's 10 points a difference, Rob.
Well, he kicked a goal last week against the Blues. He's not a real goal kicker, but he had a set shot last week. He got it. He had a set shot 3 minutes ago, and he got it. Here's another one.
The clearances this quarter, Rob, you mentioned them, 7-0 in favour of St Kilda.
They've been flogged. It's pretty obvious footy sometimes, isn't it? They've just lost a handle on the ball in the middle of the ground.
So Blake for his second goal in a matter of about 3 minutes. This to make it a 10-point ball game. It's home. And it is game on at the Dome. You saw Nick Revolt give them the rev up when they came back out onto the ground for the third quarter, and it has worked a treat. Hawthorn has been challenged hard.
So the Saints back from 34 points down to within 10.
Goddard and Graham, who spent a lot of time in the midfield in the first half, are now playing permanent in defence.
Big clearance here, and Mitchell is under siege. And he's gone. He had it for too long. Advantage called. McWalter. Schneider. Saints are coming from everywhere. That's a good-looking ball. Fiora couldn't hang on.
We think, Rob, the interchange breach was the two ruckmen for Hawthorn, Taylor and Campbell. Can't trust those ruckmen, can you?
No. Blake rucking well. Milne. Boy, hasn't he come good all of a sudden? Be a ball up.
Well, Milne's had 6 touches in this third quarter. He'd had 5 up till half-time.
Revolt, third man in. Milne on the break. They saw him coming. Mitchell shoved off and Schneider, and the Saints are within 4 points.
Wow. Pretty easy game. Win the 50-50s. And get it forward and something will happen. Good creation there from Milne. Under pressure, still under pressure, and a really good snap. It's not scintillating football, it's just good common sense football.
The Saints have banged on 5 goals in 14 minutes in this third quarter. Hawthorn lead by just 4.
Can't work out why Bateman's playing deep in defence. Ross Lyon's made some good moves.
Hodge gets a rare clearance this quarter for the Hawks as he puts it to the 50. Rioli went up one-handed. Hutchton's in there. Now Osborne. Dodges a couple of tackles. Did it nicely. And his kick, though, is chopped off. It's marked by Gilbert. The Saints looking to move it quickly. Got the momentum. Short to Fisher.
Controlling the tempo of the game, the Saints.
Hayes. Now Montagna.
They can't get their hand on the ball, Hawthorn. 11 of their players haven't had a disposal in this third term.
Revolt is the target. He'll get a free kick. 2 men against him. One climbed into him, intent on taking him out of the contest. And that was Trent Crode, front on. And Revolt, with the man on the mark at 45, a chance before the halfway point of this third quarter to put St Kilda in front. He's 28 down at half-time.
He's kicked 4 straight thus far.
He has 5 straight, and the Saints are in front.
Well, the script's a bit different to what we thought at half-time. However, I'm really fascinated by this game now. Can Hawthorn react?
It's a good test, isn't it?
This is... I mean, the Saints have done nothing wrong this quarter. But this group in the middle have got to get their act together. Otherwise, momentum is going to be lost.
Okay, Rob, is it time for the Hawthorn coaching hierarchy to change the way the Hawthorn are playing this game now?
Well, I think they've got to get their guns in the midfield and just work to get their hand on the ball. Hodge, Mitchell, Sewell, Lewis, because they've been slaughtered. And again, it's another takeaway by St Kilda.
And here they come again, the Saints. Blake for another one. He drives it home. St Kilda is on fire at the Dome. Inspired stuff from St Kilda. They have banged on 7 goals in this quarter to the Hawks 1, and there's still plenty of time to go.
3 of those goals have come from Blake, who's playing in the ruck. And the beauty of Blake playing so well in the ruck is that it means King can have a good breather.
The other thing he can do is run forward because it's only going one way. So he's going to be dangerous if he just has to run forward.
Hawthorn led by 34. St Kilda now leads by 8.
Well, Blake started the game playing at halfback on Roughhead. Blake's done the last 10 minutes in the ruck, kicked 3 goals, and it means that Stephen King's having a really good breather. So he'll be fresh when he comes on.
What a fascinating turn of events this has been. Can Hawthorn hit back? Bateman. They still can't win it out of the middle. Now Tuck just bangs it forward. Rioli and the runner in there with a bit of a chance too. Tuck has another go. He hooked it. It's a behind. There's a free kick. A St.Kilda free kick. Right in front of the Hawthorn cheer squad.
And they're going off their head, the Hawk fans.
There it is.
Undisciplined stuff from Lance Franklin, who's given away more free kicks this season than anyone. So what a quarter from St Kilda. It's only just past the halfway mark. 7 goals to 1. Incredible stuff.
Get it.
Kicks to the wing. The big fist came from Campbell. Dempster's in there. Won the ball again for St Kilda. Over to Armitage. Now Jones. Kicks to Kazitsky. He's got a one-on-one. And he's got the mark. He wants to get it moving. He's got a loose man. But Schneider, he just can't quite get there.
Roughhead again pushes back to help out.
And Sewell kicks in the middle and finds Tuck. Now the quick transfer. Hawthorn got loose men everywhere. Osborne decides to go the long option to Franklin, who works his way in front of Hutchton, but to no avail. Well played, Maxie Hutchton.
What they might have to do is push Buddy up into the action. Buddy's had one touch in this third quarter. If the ball's not coming to Buddy, take Buddy to the ball.
Oh, massive. He's got a taste for it, Michael Osborne. There's Morton keeping it alive. Let's hope we get another throw. I'd like to see more of that.
What I said to you before, Hawthorn are playing this cluster style. Should they now just throw caution to the wind and decide to take on St Kilda one-on-one rather than playing that zone cluster?
Yeah, I agree. I think they've got to really be... Look, they've got the two big fellas up forward. Get it in quick. They are... Number one, they've just got to get some clearances for a start.
Fisher wrestling it out.
Struggling there.
Franklin outnumbered, overpowered. Del Sando to ball. Saints are away again. Revolt. What a quarter he's produced.
Del Sando got them going, Tim, in the first 5 or 6 minutes of the third.
Rare mistake from Revolt. First time he's missed a target tonight. Here's Ladson for Hawthorn. Maybe they can kick the steadying goal. And there's a free kick. It'll go to Osborne. Goddard pushed in front on.
He did turn. Goddard took his eyes off the ball and hit his opponent.
And he's going for the mark. It's a clear block.
I reckon the umpire's right.
Paid the advantage and Osborne's kicked the goal, Rob.
Well, it's to say that was needed. Obviously an understatement. It's Jesus, livened up the game, hasn't it? All of it. I mean, the Saints have just had a purple time of it. I'm really fascinated by the Hawks. I mean, they're in good spot on the ladder. St Kilda needs a win to stay in that. You know, even look, if they got on a roll, St Kilda could finish top 4.
That's a shocking advantage call. I mean, the game had stopped. Everyone had stopped. He should have been made to go back and finish it with a set shot.
So for a game that was just meandering along in the first half, we've had absolutely everything in this third term. St Kilda by 2. Sewell won the hard ball, got it to Mitchell to Hodge. Kicks it out wide to Williams, who hasn't had much of it in this third term, but he's got plenty of mates. Williams gathers now. Hayes does the spoiling. Harvey the roving, got it off to Graham, and that's a mark taken by Murphy.
Stephen King now doing the ruck work for the Saints.
Murphy's going to switch to the other side of the ground, and he finds Gillam. And he kicks to Birchall at halfback. Little chip to Bateman. And now he's told to go. So Bateman, oh, it's ordinary. Good pressure from Montagna, forces the error.
It's interesting all that centre work, Robert. Just reflection now. Hawthorn tend to hit back. It's fine if you're getting the footy. If you're not, you get swamped, don't you? All the other opposition come at you in the centre of the ground. And It's interesting, actually, when it goes bad hitting back, it is the worst thing in football.
That would have been 50 metres early in the year. They have really slackened off on that, the umpires. A player who marks and then is taken to ground.
Aaron Fiora, King and Revolt, and roving Montagna just couldn't quite tag it with him. But there's a bit of magic about the Saints all of a sudden. Clever kick, Dempster. Murphy, dangerous fist. First man there, Crowd, just banging it clear. It stays alive, which will disappoint the Saints fans who were out of their seats demanding a free kick for a deliberate out, but it didn't go out. Krzyzewski letting it go. Osborne swooping. Here's Sewell. Runs into a wall. Off to Morton and Ellis. Graham speculatively. Rioli might worry him with his pace. Franklin, awkward pick up there. Got some help, rough head. Strong stuff, but a good steal from Graham. King, Fisher. And the Saints turned grim defence into something that looks half dangerous. Krzyzewski running into the space. Too far out. Now, what does he do with it from there? He goes to the hottest spot he can find. Milne weighted down, but he pushed. He gave away a free.
Go time, Stephen!
There it is, no doubt.
Gee, the crowd's into the game now. It's become a terrific contest.
Sewell chip short.
Good test for both teams now, Malcolm, because the Hawks have been challenged. It looked like they had the game under control. They've been challenged, and can the Saints maintain the momentum? And that's the second time we've seen a Hawthorn player put it out of bounds on the full without any real pressure on him.
Terrible kick from Jared Morton.
It's just been a bit quicker. You'll see some mistakes, I reckon, from here. You know, blokes are tonguing it a bit, you know, late in that third quarter.
Gee, this bloke is all class, Del Santo.
And he drives it long, back inside 50. Krzyzewski caught behind.
Hands in the back. Against Justin Krzyzewski. One hand in the back.
So the free kick count in this game is 16 Hawthorn, 22 St Kilda. Saints fans not happy at the moment. Kick to the wing. Looking for Mitchell, no mark. Well done by McQualter.
Gee, McQualter was great.
Good
there.
harassment, wasn't it?
Back.
Well, free kicks, tied players.
Mitchell hasn't been given a spare inch in this quarter. Here goes Graham. He's dangerous in this situation. Not a bad placement. Schneider got to the drop. Brilliant effort, Schneider. Eddie just hooking it too far. In fact, it's out on the full, so it's a free kick to the Hawks. Adam Schneider burrowing in and under, trying to pick up a slips catch. Hawthorn under siege in this quarter. Brown taking it inside, but putting Birchall under the pump. Got to help him out now. Bateman there too. Is that a push? No. There'll be a throw in. Of course, the great irony of this is that Malcolm Blight's most stirring halftime address since he was sacked at St Kilda seems to have inspired this magnificent Saints revival.
From the throw-in, Hayes tapped it on. Here he is, Robert Harvey. Oh, he's missed.
Lenny Hayes set him up perfectly, and Harvey will be so disappointed with that. You've got to remember these two teams. You've got the Hawks coming off a 6-day break, St Kilda an 8-day break.
And the official word from the AFL, the interchange breach was Campbell coming off and Taylor coming on. He came on by a metre while Campbell hadn't come off, and that was the reason for the free kick, the penalty and the goal for St Kilda. As here they go inside 50 again, the Saints, but just chopped off on this occasion by Crowd. Over to Taylor, who gets it to Lewis. Nothing at all on offer. Absolutely nothing. He kicks for touch.
And has got it.
And he will be penalised.
What do you reckon, Malcolm?
If he can kick it 63 metres and run for 32 more along the ground and find touch, I reckon play on. Throw it in. That is...
Graham to Goddard, who gives it to Fisher. Kick partially smothered. He'll have another crack at it, Fisher, who unloads from 50 with a thunderous kick.
Gee, the Hawthorn defence has probably been under more pressure the last 15 minutes than at any stage this year. Crode's holding up really well. Just seemed to be a lot more run with the Saints.
Dangerous, and Del Santo can score from there. Did he kick a goal? He's gone wider than he needed to, actually, for the shot.
Well, he's in such good form this quarter, he can do anything, Tim.
13th touch of the quarter for Nick Del Santo.
Have a shot.
Can he cap it off with either a precision drop punt or a banana off the left boot? Looks as though he's going for the former. Not a big goal kicker. But suddenly goal kickers are falling out of trees for the Saints.
They might have had some good wins for the year, the Saints, but this is probably their best quarter that I can remember against quality opposition in the state of the game.
And that's what they've got to do, Malcolm. They've got to beat quality opposition. They're 7 win. Well, they've had 8 wins, 7 against teams in the bottom 8. They've only beaten 1 team in the top 8. So that's what they've got to do to get some credibility.
So an 8-goal quarter for St Kilda, and they could just manufacture 1 more before the break.
Alistair Clarkson's pretty much stuck with what he's had at the start of this quarter. Haven't seen too many moves made.
Taylor to Hodge. Might be a chance for Hawthorn to get one as he scrubs the kick inside 50. Here's Rioli against Graham, evades the tackle. Gets the handball out. A little bit too ambitious, and St Kilda repel again. Ellis kept his feet against Armitage. Won the footy back for the Hawks. Hodge. Little deft kick. And they'll have a throw in.
Now, this is Nick Del Santo. He's had the hottest quarter of anyone that I've seen this year. Kicked that goal. This is the man who got dropped from the team a month ago. He now treasures his position in the side.
Hodge trying to lift the Hawks. Morton banging it forward, but only to the boundary. Time enough, though, for either team here. Well, Wolsey, you've been the great believer in the face of a lot of scepticism about St Kilda. Got to ask you when we get a moment where this has come from. It's been a stunning revival. Fisher in the revolt direction, but he's outpointed by Brown. The Hawks looking for the late goal. Roughhead's there. So was Franklin. Williams down, their only hope. Oh, was that high? Had to be close to it. Blake Lucky. 30 seconds left.
I reckon when Del Santo and Milne were dropped, Tim, and then they brought in 3 first gamers against Fremantle, just showed a lot of courage. I think that was the catalyst for the change with this team.
Quick kick by Tuck. It's bouncing. It's bouncing through for a point.
Buddy getting frustrated, as are the Hawks supporters, giving the umpires plenty of advice.
So Del Santo, and they'll be happy to eat the clock up here. The Saints, they've done their job, their best quarter for the season. As Fiora kicks it along the line. They booted 8 goals, but it was against the 3rd team on the ladder. And they go to the last change. Malcolm Blight in front by 9 points after trailing at one stage by 34 in the 2nd quarter.
Sensational quarter, that's obvious. Their middle work, their stuff in the middle of the ground, put the enormous pressure under the Hawks' defence. And that man there, Jason Blake, had a good quarter. Del Santo, all the on-ballers were good. Forwards, Nick Rebo was great. Fantastic quarter.
It's been a great day of footy on 10, and it ain't over yet.
And it looks as if Ross Slide is going to start this final quarter with Blake in the ruck. And that's interesting because he certainly did his bit. He kicked the 3 goals. And it means Stephen King again can start this final term on the bench, come on fresh, ready to give it his all.
I'm fascinated from these centre bouncers. Hawthorn do a lot of hitting back as we look at the bench there of St Kilda. And if it's not taken cleanly, it opens the door for the Saints.
So the main man, King, sits on the bench, and Joe Blake is in there at the start of the last quarter. And he's against Campbell.
Free kick.
And he gives away a free.
He can't do a thing wrong, Joe Blake. Except handball.
Graham gives it to Blake. Now Gilbert. So the Saints again win out of the middle. Here's Revolt. Oh, he's tremendous. And interestingly, the big question on him has been about his kicking for goal. Tonight, 5 straight. Placement there, perhaps not quite right. Campbell the mark. Birchall on his wrong side. Ellis. Now Birchall's on his preferred. Misses the target though. Tuck. Oh, he's missed the target big time.
We've seen 3 out of bounds on the foot.
It's the 2 young on-ballers for Hawthorn, Tuck and Morton. Their disposal tonight's been atrocious. Jones for St Kilda. Finds Blake. Just settle things down. Short to Schneider. He had a pretty good third quarter. Fired his charges up. Made his contribution.
Schneider looks the fittest I've seen him this year. He's been out of the senior team for a while. I reckon they've really worked on his fitness.
Kicks to Revolt, and why wouldn't you? We'll have a throw in. 50 out from St Kilda's goal. Franklin having a run on the ball. Here's Mitchell. Kicks back in the Franklin direction. Slapped further forward by Campbell. Now here's a bit of a run on for the Hawks. Sewell carries. Now dishes to Franklin, who can just about run to the 50. Jones gives chase. Magnificent! Magnificent stuff from Clint Jones.
He never gave up, and the St Kilda fans are out of their seats, every single one of them. They loved the chase. They loved it even more that it was Buddy who was hauled in.
Did they ever? If there is a weakness other than his kicking, it is that he can be a little cocksure, and his cocksureness caught up with him big time there. Saints footy. Fiora, who is a lovely left foot kick, given room to use it. Schneider. Ball. Helped keep St Kilda afloat. Early did Luke Ball.
And I think his mate gave him one to go on with.
It wouldn't be a St Kilda game if Luke Ball didn't have cobwebs in the head at some stage. Kajitsky and Revolt both there. Kajitsky almost had it. Campbell to Brown. And Campbell Brown takes them through.
And I was just watching Hodge. He went up once, Ball kicked the ball. He went up and said sorry. Gave him a little tap.
Well, he's a gentleman.
There he is. Buddy just took things a little bit too easily.
Buddy's certainly been told to get into the action. He'll contest this ball on the wing.
Hudson did well to work his way to the front.
Hold him. You held his arm. By his kick. You held his arm.
That's a free kick to Franklin. Again, perhaps a little bit fortunate. He gets it moving quickly. Kicks in the direction of Williams, who's outgunned there. The fall of the ball is all St Kilda. Hawthorn flat-footed. Goddard. Handballs in the Del Santo direction. And Franklin sees him over the line. Saints in 8th position on the ladder. The Hawks are 3rd. Franklin couldn't find a teammate. Now McQualter for St Kilda. Over to Blake. Good tackle on him. He threw it away. So it's a free kick going Hawthorn's way to Tuck. And Tuck kicks into the corridor. And that's a better delivery. And he finds Ellis. Goes long. Osborne sets himself again. Another big fly from Osborne. He wants a hanger tonight. He's desperate for that car.
Well, he's had 3 big flies. And he hasn't been able to control any.
I don't think it's going to happen. He's had his chance.
He might have had his nicked or something.
Great replay of it we've seen over and over, but Stephen King actually pushed him up. It's extraordinary. It was like a circus act. Well, this is a fitting contest for the Blue Ribbon Cup in honour of Gary Silk and Rodney Miller and the other 148 members of the Victorian Police Force who have died in the line of duty. Hawthorn and St Kilda fighting this one out to the bitter end. Here's Revolt again, and while everybody stood there wondering where it was going to drop, he just knew. It's a good kick to his partner in front half, Crime Kajitsky. Now Del Santo from outside 50 to an unguarded goal. It's the Saints by 15.
Well, they just look at just momentum in the game. It's amazing how it happens, but all of a sudden Hawthorn can't seem a way to find a goal. Nick Robo's just been sensational, and Justin Kazitsky, a couple of nice touches, a couple of nice marks, and this guy had his own footy in the second half, and gee, those goals hurt.
Malcolm Del Santo's running hot. He's as hot as you've ever seen a player in this second half. It's a lovely feeling. Not that I've been there all that often. I'm sure you've been there a lot more than me, but you just want him to have a go at everything, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah. And that's why I'd leave him on. You know, I wouldn't take him off.
Sewell got the handball to Mitchell. Over to Murphy. He pumps it long. Franklin attacks it and takes the mark. Gives it off to Bateman straight away. Who drills the pass to Williams.
It's a great mark. That is a great mark to hit the ball at that pace and to be able to control it.
Now, one of the problems, that is a great run. The whole bit there was good, but one of the problems now is Mark Williams, we know, is a lovely kick, and the Hawks badly need the goal, but you're a bit tired. You know, I mean, your body's not quite functioning right, so you need to suck it in deep, as he's doing. Take your time.
Kicked 3 goals in the first quarter.
So in he comes, Williams for his 4th. No, it's hit the post.
Yeah. Yes, well,
even get Del Santo to do the kicking in.
Yeah, it happens.
As we saw a moment ago, Hawthorn with a phenomenal final quarter record this year. They've won 13 of 15. They've conceded the first goal here. A lot of time left yet. They just can't get going now, though. Sam Mitchell has really had trouble releasing it if he's got his hands on it in this quarter. Here's Bateman trying to lift the Hawks. Ellis, and that's a great hand pass. He's not able to be collected by Ladson. So a throw in with Hawthorn pressing and needing a goal here to revive their hopes. A game that looked to be comfortably in their keeping for a half has got out of control. Del Santo there again, sharking Roughhead's knock. Mitchell, Gillum just couldn't change direction. Schneider kicking it on in hope. Another fumble, this time Murphy. Hawthorn making mistakes left, right and centre. Milne to Revolt. He can kick number 6 and he doesn't miss.
Just good pressure. Good pressure in that forward line.
Six magnificent goals.
Well, as the Saints take a bigger lead, the crowd has certainly come to life. Saints fans normally are pretty vocal, but tonight they are very loud and loving this game.
I tell you what, we're going to get $1 on Geelong to win the flag after tonight, will you?
And Stephen King now coming on. Almost 10 minutes into this final quarter. Blake's done his bit, up to King to continue it on.
Well, if Hawthorn doesn't get the next goal, they're kaput. If Saints can just ice one more here, it's just about match over. Hayes got the handball out to guess who? One of the Knicks, Del Santo. He goes short. Pass didn't come off. Murphy too slow, too slow. Gee, their backline has been under the pump in the second half, Robert, and it has looked brittle.
They are very sensitive about their criticism of their backline, the Hawks quarter, so be careful.
Who is?
The Hawks don't like to be criticised about their backline.
Really? Why not?
Well, they reckon they're going okay.
Well, they are until tonight.
And I don't know if you can play undersized Campbell Brown on quality tall forwards. Gillam's still a kid learning it. Birchall and Guerra are loose.
And Armitage has let the Hawks off the hook.
Who's sensitive?
People at Hawthorn.
Which people?
In high places.
The president.
You want to get over that quickly if you want to stay in this game for 30 or 40 years, Rob, don't you?
Well, you can't afford to have a thin skin, Malcolm.
The turnaround stands at 55 points. Hawthorn led at one stage by 34. They now trail by 21. 10 goals to 2 since half-time. Hawthorn desperate for a goal. Hodge beating Dempster in the contest, but Dempster wouldn't be denied. Bateman wouldn't either, and he wins the free kick for the Hawks.
You know, some time ago, probably might be a bit late now, not over, but as we watch this ball go in the forward line.
In the Franklin rough head direction, Buddy getting the body over it. Hodgson Fisher behind.
You know, there's an old saying that when you're under the pump, just try and find an opponent. Not to sit on him, but just be responsible. I actually haven't seen that happen with Hawthorn. I wonder if they've got that in their makeup as plan B or plan C. Because when you get to the finals, you need more than this plan.
It's interesting. Their preparedness to play off their direct opponents has served them well so far this year. But I agree with you. There are certainly times when you just have to clamp down.
Rioli to Guerra to Osborne. Morton has his kick smothered wonderfully well by Revolt. Now he gets the statistic as he kicks it to the wing. And there's a couple of Saints there. And it's Harvey. Gives it off to Graham. Kicks to Ball. Who can run on? No, he can't. Crode stops it. You wanted to keep going, Luke Ball.
Gee, you put it on Kazitsky's head.
And he does. Kazitsky, can he stand up? Not quite. Ball spills free. There's Murphy wrapped up. And we'll have a bounce directly in front of St Kilda's goal. 35 metres out. Nick Revolt, 6 goals tonight. How about this for a smother?
He's been magnificent. Saints could just about finish the Hawks here. Armitage, who missed a moment ago, does it again. And the lead is 21. Knockout blow was there for the taking.
Nick Del Santo taking a very well-earned break. So the Hawks still alive, but only just. It's the Saints by 21. Armitage with a couple of chances to pretty much put it beyond doubt, but couldn't do so. And it's holding the ball against the Hawks.
You dragged it straight back in and no attempt.
Morton's had a dirty night. And Luke Ball has the free kick for St Kilda. Kicks to Hayes. Hayes squares it up. Kazitsky got to take this. And Justin Kazitsky can go back and pretty much put an end to this game. He's been pretty quiet, Justin Kazitsky. He's only had the 6 disposals. He's kicked 1 goal. He's only 15 metres out, and this to make it 27 points a difference in front of almost 42,000 people here tonight at Telstra Dome. I build it up, and again the Saints have given Hawthorn a sniff.
Well, 3 elementary shots have been missed. It might give Hawthorn a sense of belief that they can win this yet. Oh, here's that man Revolt again, taking it away from Taylor for a throw in.
Well, it's not over yet, Rob, but I mean, this is a super win from St Kilda. But Hawthorn can learn something out of this, though. I reckon they'll have a good look at this game and see what happened with their on-ballers, particularly.
Hayes, Fiora, Blake, Dempster. Time for the little fumble. Now Graham could just about have gone the journey. He can from there, and he's done it. And if the Saints weren't home, they might well be now.
Well, that's over a 10-goal turnaround. That's huge in footy, isn't it? You don't see that very often. And maybe once a year. Huge. Gee, puts him in good stead, you know. For a spot in the 8 now.
Well, St Kilda have run Hawthorn off its legs in the last half of this match. And what a turnaround it's been. 62-point turnaround in this game. Campbell the tap. They just wanted more at the moment, St Kilda.
Hayes has been inspirational. Milne lifted in the second half. Del Santo was just wonderful.
Rob, they got smashed in the middle.
Yeah, they moved Graham and Goddard into the back line for the second half. That worked. Schneider went into the forward line. Blake took a turn in the ruck and was really good. And I can't think of one move that Hawthorn made when things went against them.
Revolts. Great stuff. Good courage from Ellis too. And Revolt kicks to Harvey. Still say McQualter's done a great job on Mitchell in the second half too. McQualter's done a great job.
Yes, yeah. Now they've got something out of all of them. Gee, Nick Revolt, Malcolm, I reckon he's back to his best. He struggled a little bit the last year or two. He's had a bad knee for most of this year. I think he's over that now. No bandages.
Robert Harvey, in his 21st season of football, has not been able to quite kick the goal.
Well, Robert Harvey, he kicks with a moccasin effect, doesn't he? They're very soft off the boot. Anything from 40 metres out is going to test him. But that's okay.
Well, it is all happening at one end of the ground. Look at Revolt still trying like a man crazed as Ellis puts Hawthorn forward. Roughhead did well to win that contest. Ellis kept coming, but the Hawks just cannot string it together. Graham for Fisher. Got an outrider in Montagna. Taking a few attempts to find the handle. Revolt finds the boundary. Oh, he has been superb. 6 goals straight. Man maligned for his kicking for goal. Free kick to the Hawks, but it looks as though this has got away from them. They trail by 29 points. They would require a turnaround even more stunning than that which the Saints have produced on them. Ellis, Campbell, Brown. A lot of hang time on the kick. Franklin jostling with Hodgson, but even the Magic Man can't do it now.
St Kilda supporters just delighted with the tap out of bounds by Maxi.
You both went at it. I couldn't tell.
Throw in. Snared for the Hawks by Sewell to Franklin. Couldn't get a handle on it. Now Hodge, who's just about been Hawthorn's best. Kicks long, looking for Roughhead. Couldn't find him. Crummers are all St Kilda's way. Jones has had a great night. Ineffective handball. Rioli to Lewis. Pops one over the top to Roughhead. Nick Del Santo's there, though, to save the day.
Del Santo Mill being dropped, 3 rookies brought in for the opening game. Statement was made at the football club, bold one by the coach. Since then, they have really worked hard. Not only that, they are also playing more play-on football, more risk-taking football, getting the ball quicker into their forward line. Rewald's hit form, and yeah, they're looking good.
Hodge wrapped up by Dempster. Rioli from impossible angle. Next weekend, the Hawks take on the Cats on Friday nights, and the Saints travel over to the west to take on the Eagles at Subiaco.
This has taken a bit of the wind out of the sails of Geelong and Hawthorn, hasn't it? A bit like that game of the century back in 2000 when Essendon were unbeaten and Carlton had won 13 straight, and the week before the long-awaited clash, Carlton lost to the Bulldogs.
Talk about Geelong, Tim. I was down at Geelong today, and they were awesome in the last half against the Bulldogs.
Kajitsky in the middle of that.
On current form, the Saints could end up 4th.
Eddie finding Milne, turning it on now for
Don't get ahead of yourself, Malcolm.
Hayes just hooked it a little, but there'll be a shot at goal nonetheless. David Armitage, who's missed a couple of gimmies in this last quarter, have to try and bend it back from the impossible angle.
Just settle down and banana the ball through for a goal. That's all he's got to do.
I don't know whether he wants the shot.
Oh, he
doesn't. Milne, he likes these. He loves them. He absolutely loves them. His first of the night.
So Stephen Milne kicks his first for the night, and the Saints lead by 35. Look at the disposal difference, 120. Amazing.
That's the highest number of disposals St Kilda's had in the history of their footy club.
And they've got a few more here as Montagna puts them back inside 50 again. Guerra running back, couldn't take the mark. Quick hands from Revolt, missed the target. He'll have another crack at it to Milne, who keeps it alive. Here's Kazitsky. And we'll have a throw in.
Just looking at that top 4 as Alistair Clarkson looks on. He'll have a busy week, but that's good. That's the challenge of a footy season. You don't win them all. But they'll have a good look at this. Swans, Collingwood, Brisbane moved to 9. And St Kilda. I mean, it's going to be really tight for that 4th spot, I reckon. Play Geelong round first week of the finals.
Tuck just managed to break the tackle. Advantage paid.
No, you take the footy.
It's a free kick going Hawthorn's way. It's going to be taken by Ellis.
Watch the late tackle, mate. All right.
Rob, what about that? First week of the finals. Finish 4th. Say St Kilda have a really good finish to the season.
Oh, well, look, nothing's impossible.
No, sure.
And if you and St Kilda's best 8 players are pretty much as good as anyone's best 8. And they just needed to get them all firing. And we're starting to see Rewald, Hayes, Graham, Goddard, King's playing well in the ruck. Sam Fisher's a very good player.
Hawthorn move it to half forward. No mark to Lewis. Campbell keeps it alive. Here's Roughhead. Over to Sewell, who hasn't stopped trying. Now Franklin. Here's Rioli doing a bit of crumbing. Taps it out to Osborne. Snap. Goal. So well done by Rioli. Set up Osborne, who has been one of the Hawthorn's tries for 4 quarters tonight.
3 goals in a half a footy, or nearly a half a footy, is just obviously not enough. And the forward line just hasn't had a lot of chances in their second half. The Saints have really dominated, and a few of those boys have been pretty cool down that end, I'd suggest.
Maxie Hudson's been good. Been given a lot of support, which he needed, but he has been good.
The Hawks have had only 5 goal kickers for the night. Nick Revolt at the other end has kicked 6. St Kilda have had many more contributors on the scoreboard. 2 major stories to this night. St Kilda bursting to life. Hawthorn reduced in the second half to mediocrity. Sewell for Rioli, but Graham makes a comprehensive spoil. Takes it over. There'll be a throw-in. What does it say about the Hawks? How do we assess them at the end of this?
I think you only look at it one game and you say they've had a bad half. I mean, every side does that. But I think it'll be interesting. There's a few of the younger players Stephen mentioned. You know, their skills under pressure weren't as good as they could have been. But they could, I mean, that's all part of the learning process. I wouldn't write the season off yet. I mean, they're still going to finish top 3, you'd reckon, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Fall into that. So
they're a very good side. They've been ordinary in this second half. But at half-time, we were impressed.
Yeah, that centre bounce work. The ability to change in the centre when it's like when you're getting pumped. They couldn't do it, and that's what I want to see happen, and that's what Alistair Clarkson should be working on for the week.
The B-grade midfield, you worry about that.
Saints, as you can see, will certainly maintain their position in the 8. And the Hawks still ensconced in the top 4. Their 3rd loss of the season is upon them, though, and they have Geelong next week. Well, it was a high tackle there, surely. Not paid.
Saints happy to get so many numbers back around this ball, as you can see.
So it'll be King against Roughhead in the ruck. King, the tap, went straight to Rioli, who's wrapped up by Graham, and will have another bounce.
Confidence that Blake would have got from this game. I think it's the most effective game that Blake has had in his career at St Kilda, and he's been there a long while.
King, the tap, picked up by Montagna. Birchall, can he get there before the boundary line? Nope. There's Revolt. Gets a rub down. His night is over. What a contribution he's made. 6 goals straight. 22 disposals, 10 marks.
Tackling of St Kilda has been first rate.
And Nick Rewell kicked the goals in that 3rd quarter when it all had to happen, and he did it.
Max Hutchison has a break for St Kilda. He's done a terrific job on Lance Franklin. Had his colours lowered early, but has fought back brilliantly in the second half. Franklin's haul tonight, 3 goals straight. Taylor the tap. Here's Birchall. Shrugged the tackle. Now kicks towards Lewis, who was the late inclusion tonight for Young.
Sam Mitchell done it very hard this second half. Just 4 disposals.
He was superb, wasn't he, in the first half, particularly that second quarter, but McQualter has just completely nullified him.
Yeah.
Just sat on his hammer. As the Saints bring it out. Handball from Eddie over to Blake. Kaczynski's got to beat a couple. Well, it doesn't really matter now. As Crowe tapped it out to Birchall, to Guerra. Now Ellis. Handballs to Morton. Morton knows, coughed it up again. Milne, he'll go for home. No, he won't. He unselfishly dishes out to Ball, and he has missed.
Pressured again, the Hawks into error.
It's happened to us. Second half.
As Quarter said, what price Geelong Both the two leading contenders outscored by around 10 goals after half-time today. And the Cats high and dry at the top of the table. Hawthorn next Friday night. Bateman kicking long, but to nothing, and Eddie stands in the way. Gives to Fisher.
St Kilda supporters got the biggest smiles on their face that they've had for about 18 months, I would think.
They all wanted to get rid of the coach a few weeks ago.
Oh, we don't need to go there, Tim.
You've known that sort of thing to happen, Malcolm. Look at them. They're on great terms with themselves. They're calling for Ross Lyon to be canonised. There it is. It's the Saints by 30 points. Back from 28 down at half-time. When the Saints go marching in, when the Saints go marching in, oh how I want to be a St.Kilda. When the Saints go marching in.
What does it mean to Robert Harvey? He's been there for 20 years. Look at the smile on his face. He's played pretty well. He's got a lot of young teammates out there. Maybe he'll see September action after all.
Well, he said the other day, it's just a dream of a premiership that keeps him hanging on.
Let's get out to Christy Malthouse.
Oh, Nick, down by 28 at half-time. Where did the spark come from for that massive turnaround?
I think we just started to get our hands on the ball. We started to get in first and win the contested ball. We were a long way down at half-time, and you know, there weren't many tackles either, and we don't want to play that style of footy. So I think we addressed that. You know, we've come from behind already this year, so we knew we had it in us. So it was a great result.
4 wins in a row. Do you feel like things are coming together? It's all starting to gel just at a good time.
Yeah, look, we're starting to build slowly. You know, we think we've still got a lot of improvement left in us. It'd be nice to do it for 4 quarters rather than coming from behind, but you know, we'll take the win.
Well done tonight.
Thanks, Chris.
We will take a break from the Dome. When we come back, the Blue Ribbon Cup for 2008 will be handed to St Kilda. They turn the tables in the second half to defeat the Hawks by 30 points.
When the Saints go marching in, oh when the Saints go marching in, oh how I want to be with St Kilda. When the Saints go marching in. Oh when the Saints go marching in, oh when the Saints go marching in, oh how I want to be with St Kilda. When the Saints go marching in.
The Blue Ribbon Cup, now in its 9th year, is a game that evokes an extra sense of spirit as we pay tribute to the 150 Victorian police officers who have lost their lives serving the community. In 1998, Sergeant Gary Silk and Senior Constable Rodney Miller were killed in the line of duty at Moorabbin, and the following year this magnificent occasion was established in their honour. I would like to welcome Jimmy Miller, the son of Senior Constable Rodney Miller. Jimmy will present the medals to the best player for each team, and they are Nick Revolt from St Kilda, hang on, first of all, the medal. Yeah. And do you want to say? And Luke Hodge from Hawthorn. Luke Hodge. Luke Hodge from Hawthorn. And now from the winning team, the captain, Nick Revolt, to accept the cup.
Thanks very much to everyone for coming out. It's a great privilege for both clubs to be able to play for this trophy. I know Hawthorn really enjoy playing for it as well, so thanks a lot to you guys. You're having a great year, and I know you'll keep going. Our boys, well done. Terrific win, come from behind, so let's keep building on